Welcome back to Divinity Originals into a Definitive Edition. I just looted everything on this level. I got some nice stuff. I do currently wear this improvised fire stuff. If our enemies should become fire immune due to enemy randomization, I do have this wand and shield as an alternative. Anyway, let's go up the stairs. Right. There we go. We have a little doggy that we can talk to.
The hound paws desperately at its snout. It winces as it draws blood from its wet black nose and continues scratching.
Call out to the hound and asks it what's the matter.
The dog notices you for the first time and snarls, the hairs on its back prickling as it lowers itself into a lunge.
Sorcerer!
It sneezes suddenly and paws at its nose once more.
Can't smell. Can't breathe. Too much sauce. Too much. Too much. Please, make it stop.
Ask the dog if its job isn't to hunt sorcerers. Tell it to go find the one who did this.
Too much. Too much. Can't smell. Can't breathe.
The dog whines and continues pawing at its nose.
Poor doggy. Well, it is a saw sound.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
Indeed. We should get out of here. But before we do, we take the time to loot everything. Because that's what we do. No, don't come. That is rather
get off this wreck and
valuable.
quick.
Right, so these guys...
Damn! That doesn't
Locked.
bode well.
They still have a lockpick? Don't think so. So let's see if we can destroy this door. There we go. Well then, my dear Magisters.
Thank the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
Motion to the destruction around you. What's going on here? What does he see?
Like you don't know? Mutiny! Did that witch fix your collar too?
Tell him there's no mutiny. You almost died at this woman's hands.
Go on then. Find a place to hide and stay there.
Yeah, I don't think so. Hiding might not be the best idea. Well, let's do some looting. Oh, some pens. A journal. Is there anything interesting in them? Oh, I didn't want to read it. Let's see. There, if you want, you can read it. Right, anything else? Oh, there's a picture. And that's it. Can we talk to you?
What will happen to us?
Well, you will drown probably, unless you get squashed by the Kraken first.
You need to find a hiding place. And quick.
Well, that's that. Right, bunch of dead magisters, bow. A note. Deathfuck barrels. Yes, no. And Fane.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely angular, and a glorious jewel sits in the middle of his forehead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia, muttering to himself.
No, no, no! What damn fools record knowledge on a pulped tree? It catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist acid! No wonder they're so bloody ignorant.
The skeleton looks up and notices you for the first time.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
Shouldn't you be doing the same?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book, frantically flipping from page to page.
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kindly used the little you were given. Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organs enough to drown? Trifling matters like water and poison do not concern me. No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the seafloor, I will simply walk to shore. Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over.
Yeah, there's no time for chit-chat.
Remember, one of your race's weaknesses is having your lungs filled with water until you can no longer breathe. So, try to avoid that, perhaps.
Yeah.
The skeleton resumes his
Good idea.
search, leafing through page after page, while hunching over the book in a futile attempt to keep it dry.
Right. Well, let's check out the death fog and put on those pants we've got, right? At least a tiny bit of physical armor.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The crimson drains from your hand, and you are left numb.
Pull open the door.
It doesn't budge.
Well, use your key.
The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Well, that's the death fog. Can we loot this guy?
Death fog? I need to get out of here, now!
I don't think we can loot this guy. Nope. But at least we get a cracked sword for our troubles. Alright, let's get up. So, we'll encounter well, second fight, in fact. And it's probably not gonna be easy. So, maybe I wanna buff up before we go up.
I need to get off this shit.
Shit, he has firebranding. Right, I should not have put that bucket on my head. So this guy has an aura of exhaustion. Let's see what that does. Enemies within 8 meters are slowed, and it is immune to slow. And this guy has Firebrand, which adds fire damage to weapon attacks and skills. Okay, but they're not immune to fire at least. That's something. But unfortunately, the slowed did remove my haste buff. That's not good, because the slow does not reduce my action points, luckily, but well, at least it negates my haste. That's bad enough. Right, let's see, they have quite a bit of... Let's see if we can try and kill this guy. No. And am I dead? Oh, yes. Right. Right, let's try this again, and maybe with a shield and a wand this time. Might come in handy. So let's buff up. Let's see what we've got.
I need to get off this
Fortified. Oh, that's bad. Oh, then again, I'm just dealing magical damage, so should be... Wait, it's fortified and venom coated. So that thing is... Is that thing a champion? Okay, it deals extra poison damage and has some physical armor. That thing has a venom aura. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, no. Okay, the venom damage comes from the aura. That makes sense. Right. Now, if I attack you, are you gonna be stunned? Let's try this. Nope. Well then. This might have been a big mistake. Right, I will need to cheese this a little bit, I'm afraid. Because they can't get in. Right, he should die, and he hopefully dies too. Yep. There we go. Yeah, well, the mods are designed for the 6-player party, so naturally it's gonna be excruciatingly hard in the early stages of the game where you're alone, because, yeah, the difficulty is not designed for a 1-player party.
A lifeboat! That means there's still a chance!
There's still a chance. Hello.
It will burn! This monster!
Right. There we go. Captain Calvin. Oh, Lightning Rate and Scroll. I'll have that. And Magister Knight, who doesn't have anything. Right, let's go to the lifeboat. Hello there, boys. Oh,
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time for getting the hell out of here.
call the dwarf a yellow-bellied coward. He'll return to the lower deck and check for survivors.
Thank you, thank you, thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
You're gonna be the death of us, you hear?
Yeah. See anything around here? Just a bucket. Alright. Let's see. This time we can actually maybe try to help Magister. Oh,
If you could
Magister
walk,
Steven.
get yourself up the ladder. There's a wait! Voidwoken!
Right. Let's quick save. They're already fighting over here. Oh shit, I forgot to heal. Ah, it's not good. But it should hopefully be fine. He should be dead.
I've faced worse.
Question is, can those NPC guys die?
These beardless bugs won't sink a ship on my watch.
Interesting.
I thought Voidwoken was supposed to be scary.
Heal strength. Interesting.
Let the games begin.
Oh, I think they got it shambled.
Hurts, doesn't it? I'll yield to none.
Come on, hurry and up. Right. Let's go. Wow, I have like no movement at all. Let's just put some fire on there. There we go. Right, you go up, I go loot. Oh, she was dead.
I hear something. It's Magister Siwan. The one who put on this damn collar.
Let's go talk to her.
Sounds like she needs help.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound.
Look around for some way to help her.
With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth, soaked with some kind of strong-smelling tincture.
Take the cloth and hold it tight to the wound to try and stem the bleeding.
Blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror.
Let's unravel the blood-red cloth and wrap it snugly around her neck like a tourniquet.
Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand flailing.
Hold the cloth tighter to the wound.
It's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Siwan clutches your arm, her eyes locked with yours. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder.
Continue holding the cloth to the wound. Take Siwan's hand and try to help her stand.
Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship lets out a deep groan, then cracks.
Well, too late. Uh-oh.
Ripping the ship apart!
You want to get up, maybe?
This
No.
is it!
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
Well, looks like we made it.
Well, that was a bit of a rough and tumble journey.
Indeed.
I suppose this again,
No.
which is entirely appropriate, if you ask me.
Sorry for interrupting you. Right. So, first order of business is get to Fort Joy as quickly as possible and pick up our party. Ooh, puppet of randomization. Who might you be? I guess you're from one of the mods. Also, there's good old man Lothar. Like I said, he'll be around in every act of the game. Hey, somebody that likes a challenge, eh? I'll help you modify the settings of enemy randomization. Disabling on any regular buffs, champions, and extra loot, or enemy copies. Okay, he's just for the options. Yeah, no need for that. Right. Let's talk to Tem.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting his eyes, his chin, the crown of his head. He spots you, and his arms snap to his sides.
I'm not supposed to talk to lizards.
Tell him he should heed what he learned. He ought to avoid addressing his superiors directly.
What's a superior?
Oh. Pull yourself up to your full height and tell him he's looking at the very definition.
He shrugs and continues the game with a mirror, inspecting inside his nostrils and around the back of his knees.
Ask him what he's looking for.
Sauce? They told me I'm a sorcerer.
The child screws up his face and looks at you hard. He lifts his mirror up to his nose, closes one eye, and looks at himself again.
I don't see any sauce on you or me. I guess they're wrong. Or crazy.
Tell him they may well be wrong and crazy.
Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, and it's a lot nicer out here than inside.
Say it isn't safe out here. Your ship was attacked by a Voidwoken not far off the shore.
But you didn't die.
Yeah, say you survived the Voidwoken attack by the skin of your teeth. You should really find somewhere safer to go.
There isn't anywhere safer. That's what I mean. You'll see.
Ask him why he doesn't seem scared.
I guess I am, but it's just normal to be scared. Nowhere isn't scary.
Oh, you do have some lockpicks. Right. See, we require one. Okay. Maybe not steal, pickpocket that child. Right, but you, blah blah blah, yeah, he's alive. Right, what are your plans for a Reaper sign? Well, fishing, of course. That's really nice. Yeah, I know that you're selling things. Stop talking, I want to trade with you. Right, you do have some money, so how about you take some of my stuff? There we go. Have fun with that. Right, so let's get moving, because we are currently in no condition whatsoever to fight anything. So let's avoid all of the fights if possible and get straight to Fort Joy, pick up our party, and yeah, I don't think I want to deal with these guys right now.
Voidwoken. Those are the same beasts that sank our ship. Damn! They made it to the shore.
Let's not fight them right now.
Look here, Quercus. Another giant. My word, this blasted isle is teeming with them.
So Laura, I've read something about this guy. So it's a squirrel riding on a skeleton cat.
Was that? Yes, I did see how it managed to survive an attack by the Great Acorn's servants. Impressive, just as you say.
By Great Acorn servants? If you watched the other playthrough, you might remember that we encountered some squirrels in Ark who talked about a Great Archon. I assumed it was the Lady Vengeance, but apparently the Great Acorn is the master of these Voidwoken thingies.
But that is no reason to trust it. Giants like that destroyed our forests. They are the very reason the Great Acorn is returning in all its wrath. What? Dear me, have you taken leave of all 6 of your senses? You would have me use this giant for a shield? Why would I... Oh, but I see. You are a cunning devil, Quercus. Of course, if it escaped the Great Acorn's vile servants, it can do so again. We need only follow in its big, wide shadow and be safe.
Giants, acorns, shields. Tell him you've no idea what he's talking about.
Egad! It speaks our tongue, Quercus. Hush before... What do you mean a good time for introductions? You know full well who I am, you silly old cat. The great Solora, grandest of the... Oh, introduce myself to the giant. I shall do no such thing. You give away your trust too easily, my dear steed.
I like Solora already.
No, we will have the giant march. In time, we'll see whether it deserves our confidence. Now, onwards! Shield! Venture forth, post-haste. The Great Acorn waits for no one.
Well, looks like we've got a party member already. A good brave Solora and his noble steed. Alright. Right, let's get moving. That is where we would meet the Red Prince if, well, we wouldn't be him ourselves. Let's gather some shells. We can use them to craft staffs, or wands. And some mushrooms.
A black cat. A herald of wisdom in my homeland. How fortuitous.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, but it stares at you with acute intensity.
No need to be jealous, Quercus. Fur maketh not the cat.
I like that.
What? How did I get... Hey, stop following me.
It's just that you aren't following it. It approached you.
What? No, that can't be. I can't... Hey, stop following me.
Right. Are you okay?
Huh? Yeah, fine. I'm fine. I'm not sure. It's all a little foggy.
Wonder where you came from.
The cat opens his mouth as if to speak, but his eyes lose focus, and with a jerk he turns away from you.
Alright. Guess we have 2 companions now. Do we want to pick up Fane first? I guess we do, but let's go up here, because there's a bedroll, I believe. Indeed. We will need a couple of those. A shovel.
Boring.
Bones are always good. Right. Can we get to Fane without fighting? I believe so, yes. So let's do that. Right. Isn't there something buried around here somewhere? Up here, I believe. The colors are...
What's this? I found something.
Let me check my options. Some ultra. The shadows are very dark and the colors are very bright. Is that a change of the Definitive Edition? Can't remember it being like this. Oh, whatever. Let's dig up
One must
whatever
put in due effort if one is to reap the
Alright,
proper reward.
I don't need a shovel. I don't even need a shovel. A darling bow. That's nice. And leather armor. Let's pick up that thing too. Right, I think I'll be using the leather armor. Okay. And the darling bow is pretty good, but... Right. Was there anything? Yep, there was a whirlwind chest in here. A rope. Do you rather want a rope? Yeah, well, it has more armor combined, right? This gives me 9 armor, this gives me 8 armor. Well, let's go and pick up Fane. And the hidden arc.
I wonder where this leads.
It leads to Fane.
As the alcove opens up, you see the same skeleton that you met on the boat before it sank. He's leaning over a corpse, prodding and pulling at the skin of its face.
Bugger.
Bugger.
How on earth am I supposed to... Oh. Perhaps...
Skeletal fingers reach down and grip the skin of the dead man's face, pulling sharply upwards.
Ew.
After a few more tugs at the man's cheeks, the skeleton relents, letting the head drop to the ground with a damp thud.
Damnation. That stuck fast. I wonder, does the beard act as some form of anchor?
Yeah. Cough politely.
Ah! No! Stay back! Don't... Oh. It's you. I must admit I'm surprised. Perhaps you're more buoyant than I suspected.
Admit that you're surprised to find him here. Why did he head for a prison island?
It seems the human that stole my mask was rather more resourceful than I gave her credit for. I chased her here, but she rather seems to have given me the slip. Thus...
He turns back to the body, prodding at its face cautiously.
Ask what his business is with that body.
Why, its face, of course.
Of
what other
course.
use would I have for some rotting corpse?
Right.
A face that seems rather stubbornly attached to his skull.
Yeah, faces used to do that.
I would normally employ a tool to delicately but viciously rip the face from the body. I could then craft a mask to hide my bone. But as I lack such a tool...
The skeleton grabs the corpse by the cheeks and pulls hard, grunting in frustration as the body's skin holds firm.
Inquire about his skull. You've never seen one carved like that.
Carved? Please. You hardly think I am one of your breed, do you? You have never seen anything like it because you have never met anyone like me. Simply put, I am an eternal, and you are not. You have my sympathies.
Ah, why, thank you.
Indeed, no one seems to have the good taste to be. My people are rather absent, at least from this realm. As for the others, well, there is an excavation site at the Black Pit's oil fields. Perhaps there I'll find my answers.
Perhaps, and this time, in fact, we will take Fane there. An Eternal. What is that? Some sort of cult?
A cult? Hardly. We were a race that existed before the idea of race was needed. We were all one. I could ask you to imagine an Eternal as a creature of incredible intelligence and skill. But I fear the limits of your imagination would not do us justice. We studied the mysteries of the universe. We created works of great art. We disappeared. But I will find them. Wherever they are, I will find them. We will have our world again.
You will find them, indeed. Well, that sounds really nice, and also it sounds like he needs a companion. Ask if he'd like to travel with you.
I suppose, circumstances being what they are, it could be advantageous.
Yes, I
you
think
seem
so too.
more at ease in this world than I. A guide would certainly be useful.
Not. It could work out well for both of you.
Excellent. While we are conversing, perhaps you notice that I am rather skilled in, well, all things.
Yes. A very humble, good Fane.
Of course, the arcane arts are my little speciality, but being a brilliant wizard does not mean I cannot handle blade or bow. So, which do you require for this enterprise of yours?
Yeah, let's see. Arcane
Much
arts.
magic? I was controlling the powers of the universe while your people were still doing whatever it is you used to do.
I guess
What speciality would you prefer?
I guess a wizard prefab will do for now.
Oh, you've asked the wizard if he would please join your party as a wizard. And here I was, worried that your people might not be the sharpest tools in the trade.
Okay.
I could do that with one hand behind my spine. Now, shall we get on? There is rather a lot to see.
No, that settles it.
Splendid. Very well. Let's be off.
Right, let's be off. And with that, we have our first companion. It is Fane. What do you have? A bunch of stuff. Firebolt scroll. Yeah, that's all nice. Right, that should be enough for now. Next episode, we will head toward Fort Joy and pick up the other companions. And, well, first order of business is to, pick up all the companions and then get some money and get some equipment so that we are not completely useless in fights anymore. That would be nice. Anyway, thanks for watching and see you next time.